there are millions of bats in the air at the same time. It's just amazing. It's lovely being up trees because you get such a special view. You get this sort of privileged view out across what's just an extraordinary spectacle. Very nearly the whole world population's in this one small area, and they've come from across the equatorial belt of Africa, so some of them have come 1,000 kilometres to be here just for a few weeks. There are 10 million bats, and they're only in the area of a few football pitches. And you don't really see them during the daytime altogether, but when they leave, there's this extraordinary spectacle, really on a different level to any other view of mammals you'll ever get. I mean, there are millions of bats in the air at the same time. It's just amazing. One of the most extraordinary things about it is they're really noisy when they're in the roost here, and then when they leave, they go completely silent. You can't even hear their wings. The sky's darkening with bats, but you can't hear them. And they're really quite close. They go over a sort of low ceiling and then stream off towards the sunset usually. But there's this sort of eerie silence about it too. No one's really quite sure why they come so far, why they all come here, why this exact place. Partly to do with the type of trees, partly to do with the coolness in this forest. It's got water underneath, it's a swamp really. Partly there must be a massive amount of food. Partly they've got their own social reasons to do it. It's kind of lovely that we don't know, I think. Actually, I quite like it. It's a bit of an unknown thing about nature, which is always slowly giving up its secrets, and that's one of the ones that we haven't quite fathomed yet. In the UK, for instance, we don't really go into the bat roost. We don't really see bats during the daytime. They're often in dark places anyway. Whereas here, these fruit bats are going to be hanging up on a tree in the daytime, and you can see what they're doing. So one of the things that turned out to be the case is it's quite complicated what's going on in the roost. They're not randomly distributed through the trees. The males are in one place, the females are in another place, usually in groups. And when a new bat comes in, it clearly is checking who else is in the group, and it'll land and it'll crawl about, climb around, come up and have a proper sniff to see if it's with a bat that it wants to be with. And if it doesn't find the one it wants, it goes somewhere else until it's comfortable. So quite what it's doing, I don't know. Whether it's looking for family or do bats have friends? I don't know. Are they bats that it's spent previous days with? Are they bats that have fed well and it wants to go with them at night to find food because they obviously have found food? Are they looking for mates? It's really difficult to know what's going on, but it's clearly not just a case of hanging yourself up for the day and then pushing off again at night to go and look for some more food. Yeah, I found it fascinating. I mean, I'm particularly interested in birds, but actually I've found I'm particularly interested in bats now as well. I think they're amazing.
They lay eggs, they've got a pouch. They're doing their own thing. They're echidnas. I'm going to move in with them.
In this dry eucalyptus forest, in a remote part of Australia, lives one of the most bizarre mammals. It might look like a hedgehog or a porcupine, but it's not even closely related to either. It's the shy, egg-laying, ant-eating monotreme, the short-beaked echidna. These usually solitary mammals come together annually during the breeding season. And the team's mission is to find them deep in the forest to try and film these fleeting, romantic liaisons.
Let's go.
Echidna's body temperature is much lower than most mammals. In the harsh Australian heat, they spend much of their time sheltering underground. With Echidna's skittish temperament, the team have to be as quiet as possible and hope the echidnas are happy to accept a film crew in their forest.
Any noise you make, snap of a stick, crunch of a leaf, anything like that, they know you're there and the game's up. So it's a case of sneaking around the forest with really heavy camera gear and being as quiet as, or quieter than they are. Even then, it's game over quite quickly as soon as they smell you in the air or they hear you.
Local scientists have helped the team find some potential burrows.
There's some, what seems to be fresh echidna scats, so hopefully we'll get them on the remote cameras.
The team set up camera traps to monitor the burrow's activity and record behaviour from multiple angles.
We've just recovered the cameras from the echidna burrow,
and we've had a quick look at the footage in the field, and we're really pleased with what we've got. We've got not one, not two, but 3 echidnas coming out.
With an active echidna burrow located, it's just a waiting game.
We've got 5 cameras hooked up all around the den, and one last one, which is us, sitting, waiting quietly and patiently to see if we can get them coming up.
And eventually, their patience pays off. The echidnas begin to reveal themselves, and the team can film these elusive mammals and get a glimpse of what is known as an echidna love train. As males line up behind a female they're hoping to mate with. But stay in one place long enough and you start blending in. Maybe a little too well.
We've been waiting all morning for hopefully some echidnas to come out of this burrow. And they finally come, and we've got the opposite problem, in that they're too close for us to film. They've just come right up to us, and now they've like snuggled amongst our bags. So they're right under our feet.
Normally we spend our lives trying to get closer to animals, but this time the animals have come so close we can't even film them with this lens on, which is normally good for animals from a distance. And it's actually really nice to have them coming to us. It just shows that we're sitting here quiet enough for them to feel comfortable around us.
And this echidna burrow turned out to be hiding something extraordinary.
About 15 echidnas have come out of said hole, and it's been brilliant for us because we've been able to film them all going out onto their day. But it's really surprising. You know, it's not something our friendly scientist has ever seen before. She's been studying them for years, so who knows what they're up to in there.
And the charming echidnas definitely made an impact.
They're just so sweet. They're just so weird. I mean, they move like a hot water bottle. They've got backwards feet on the back, front feet on the front. They've got funny little nose that sticks out the front. Yeah, they're just completely adorable and endearing. And in sitting here in the woods with them, I've just become completely besotted. They've just got their own thing going on. They lay eggs, they've got a pouch. They're doing their own thing. They're echidnas. I'm going to move in with them.
These smooth-coated otter pups have spent their first 6 weeks in the safety of the holt, but now it's time to take to the water. And their playground? Singapore, one of the most densely populated countries on the planet. And thanks to conservation efforts, such as cleaning up their waterways, Singapore now has one of the densest population of otters on Earth too. The otters have made the city their own. And with plenty of fish to hunt, they've even become a tourist attraction. The young cubs, still reliant on their mother's milk, are just learning how to swim, and after a successful hunting trip, it's time to try some fish. Now their teeth may be small, but they're still razor sharp. In their natural habitat, otters will haul out onto a riverbank to feed, but in Singapore, this marina works just fine. But house crows have also moved into Singapore. Native to India and a few other South Asian countries, house crows have hitched a ride on ships all around the world, appearing as far away as Ireland, South Africa, and even the USA. With big brains and an open mind to all things gastronomic, these avian marauders are well equipped for urban life. They're a loose social cooperative, working together to communicate dangers and to find and share food. And why catch food when you can steal it from some youngsters? Crows seem to know instinctively that pulling tails is a good distraction tactic. It almost seems like a game to them. They'll even do it when there isn't food involved. Show a crow a tail, and it seems they'll just pull it. And it helps when you have 8 other beaks joining in. That is, until Mums had enough. Eventually the cubs do get tired of the hassle, leaving what's left of the fish to the crows. Persistence, it seems, is another key crow quality. But the cubs don't seem to mind. Plenty more where that came from. In just another 6 weeks, they'll be catching fish for themselves. But they probably have a lifetime ahead of getting their tails pulled.
You check your setting and you are ready, it's okay. And the sperm whale is coming close to the camera and we turn and look at me. And it was a magic moment for me. I'm shooting the sperm whale since 2011. And every year I'm coming back to shooting the same family. My first sperm whale was a female. It's a big female, it's Irene Goldthorpe. I remember when I see for the first time, I just only one into the blue water, and my things were more 1,000 meters. And when I see the sperm whale is coming, it looks like a submarine. I know was not an aggressive attitude because I'm shooting very slowly and I'm waiting they accept me. I don't go to push my camera close the sperm whale. I'm waiting the sperm whale they accept me. When he can see you, sometimes he comes with playing with close the camera like an actor. And this is it, a magic moment. It's amazing. We don't need to tell what he wants to say, what he wants to say to him. It was a neutral communication, and it's amazing. Some sperm whale, like Irene Goldthorpe, Elliot, recognize me because you recognize my camera, you recognize my regulator, and every year I take the same equipment, and every year he recognizes me. We have an identity card of Elliot, and I think Elliot has an identity card of me in Israel. I would like to follow the story of the family. Every year we saw the babies, now the young adult, and the Elliot. Now Elliot, he have 12 years old. And all scientists say when the adult male has about 8 or 10 years old, we need to leave the group. But except Elliot, we stay. He protects the new baby. I don't understand why, but he stays on Mauritius, and I would like to know when he's leaving or not leaving. For me, the best mammal is the sperm whale, because it looks like not a beautiful animal like a humpback whale, like a dolphin. But when you see the sperm whale, and when the sperm whale is looking at you with his eyes, it's very incredible, and it's amazing. Today is very, very good day.
A spectral tarsier is hunting deep in the lowland forests on the island of Sulawesi in Southeast Asia. About the size of a tennis ball, they're one of the world's smallest primates. It might be tiny, but it's almost perfectly formed for life as a nocturnal hunter. Its eyes are huge, the largest relative to its body size of any mammal, helping it pick up any light there is in the gloom. They're also fixed, and to look around, it must move its head. But this gives them superb spatial awareness, which, working alongside its enormous mobile ears, helps it detect and track prey in conditions that would be almost pitch black to the human eye. Target located. moves in. It has hind legs twice as long as its body, which act like springs, enabling it to leap over 40 times its body length. Grabbing branches and catching prey with its enormous hands. Enormous at least, relative to its tiny body. All of which help tarsiers on their quest to catch about 10% of their body weight in insects each night. And she has an extra pressure, an even smaller, hungry mouth to feed. She'll need to catch yet more insects while her baby learns to hunt for itself. Tarsiers have big babies, weighing as much as a quarter of its mother. It can walk and grab branches from day one, ready for life in the trees. But it's still completely reliant on its mother for food, and like any baby, it still likes to be carried. But carrying a baby isn't ideal when hunting, so she parks it in a safe place and heads off alone into the darkness. For the little one, it's time to explore and to start honing its hunting skills. The first challenge? Learn how to grab onto things in the dark. Maybe even find a caterpillar. A bit more practice needed. Fortunately, Mum's on hand to help with these learning adventures. This older infant is a bit more advanced. It's already mastered judging distance and locating prey in the darkness. But the end result still needs a little refining. Time to go again. Practice as ever makes perfect. But it will need to learn fast. As in as little as 10 weeks, school is over for this tiny primate, and it will need to be able to hunt for itself.